Imagine waking up on what seems like an ordinary morning. The sun is shining, the city is alive, cars fill the streets, people hurry to work, birds glide through the sky. Everything feels completely normal, until, without warning, time stops. Not slowly, not gradually, instantly. The sound of the city disappears. Every conversation ends in the middle of a sentence. The wind vanishes. The leaves stop moving. Raindrops hang perfectly still in the air. A bird freezes in mid-flight, its wings suspended forever. A speeding car remains motionless just centimeters above the road. The entire world has become a photograph. Except, you can still move. At first, you think everyone is playing a joke. You wave your hand in front of a stranger's face. Nothing. You shout as loudly as you can. No one reacts. You touch a person standing on the sidewalk. Their body feels as solid as a statue. No blinking, no breathing, no heartbeat. Every human being on Earth is frozen in the exact moment time stopped. You begin walking through the silent city. It is unlike anything you've ever imagined. Coffee hangs in midair after spilling from a cup. A newspaper floats beside a cyclist who never finishes falling. Traffic lights remain frozen forever on green. An airplane is suspended in the distant sky. The silence becomes unbearable. Then, you notice something even stranger. Your footsteps are the only sound left in existence. No birds, no engines, no wind, no voices. Only you. You have become the only moving person in an entire frozen universe. But then a terrifying thought crosses your mind. If time has stopped for everything else, why are you still moving? And more importantly, how long can you survive in a world where time itself no longer exists? At first, the frozen world feels almost magical. You wander through empty streets, untouched by chaos. People are suspended mid-step. A glass of water hangs in the air after falling from a restaurant table. Smoke from a factory rises only a few meters before stopping forever. Clouds never change shape. Even the ocean looks strangely calm, as if it has become a giant sheet of glass. For a brief moment, it feels like you've been given complete control over the world. No traffic, no deadlines, no danger, just endless silence. But that illusion doesn't last long, because after the excitement fades, your scientific curiosity takes over. You begin asking questions no one has ever had to answer before. If time has truly stopped, then how are you still seeing anything? Normally, light is always moving. Every second, trillions of photons race from the sun toward Earth at nearly 300,000 kilometers per second. Those photons constantly bounce off every object around you before reaching your eyes. That's how vision works. But if time has frozen, those photons should also be frozen. No light would move. The world would instantly become completely black. Not dark like nighttime, but absolute darkness. Yet somehow, you can still see. That means one impossible conclusion. Time hasn't completely stopped. Some tiny bubble of time must still exist around you. A tiny island where the laws of physics continue to function, while the rest of the universe remains frozen. Then another frightening question appears. How are you breathing? Every breath requires billions upon billions of air molecules rushing into your lungs. But air is made of moving particles. If time stopped, those particles should also stop. The atmosphere would become perfectly motionless. No oxygen could reach your body. You wouldn't slowly suffocate. You would be unable to inhale at all. Your lungs would feel like they were pressed against solid glass. Yet somehow, you keep breathing. Again, it suggests the impossible. Not only are you moving, but the air immediately surrounding you is moving with you. It's as though reality itself has wrapped you inside an invisible bubble where time still flows normally. Everything outside that invisible boundary is frozen forever. As you continue walking through the city, you notice something even stranger. A pigeon hangs in front of you with its wings fully extended. You gently touch one feather. Nothing happens. The bird doesn't fall. It doesn't wobble. It doesn't react in any way. It's completely locked in time. You push harder. Still nothing. It's as if the entire bird has become part of reality itself, fixed beyond movement. You pick up a loose newspaper drifting nearby. This one moves. Why? Because it was already inside your strange bubble of moving time when you touched it. Anything you physically interact with begins sharing your flow of time, but everything else remains trapped outside. You suddenly realize the terrifying implications. The frozen world isn't asleep. It isn't paused. It's completely disconnected from the future. No one is aging. No one is thinking. No heart is beating. No atom is vibrating. For everyone else, the next second will never arrive. Only you continue marching forward through time. Alone. Completely alone. And then another thought sends a chill down your spine. If the entire Earth is frozen, what about the sun? Is it still burning? Or has the nuclear fusion inside its core stopped too? If the sun has frozen, how long will your tiny bubble of moving time keep you alive before reality itself begins to collapse? Days pass, or at least, you think they do. Without moving clocks, without changing shadows, without anyone else alive to tell you, time begins to lose all meaning. The city is still exactly as you found it. The same bird remains frozen above the street. The same raindrops still hang in the air. The same child is forever reaching for a balloon that never falls. Nothing changes. Except you. Your beard grows. Your hair gets longer. Your clothes become dirty. Your muscles grow tired. You are the only thing in the universe that continues to age. At first, survival seems easy. Every supermarket is full. Every restaurant still has fresh food on the tables. Every gas station has fuel. Every hotel has empty rooms. There are no laws anymore. No money. No governments. The entire planet belongs to you. For a while, it almost feels like paradise. But paradise slowly transforms into something far more terrifying. Because people need people, you begin talking to frozen strangers, even though you know they cannot hear you. You tell them about your day. You ask questions. You laugh at your own jokes. Sometimes, you even apologize to statues that used to be people. Loneliness starts changing your mind. Weeks pass. Then months. Perhaps years. You no longer know. You eventually leave the city. You travel across countries. Across oceans. Across continents. Everywhere, the same impossible silence. The Eiffel Tower. Frozen. The Great Pyramids. Frozen. Tokyo. Silent. New York. Empty. Even the crashing waves of the Pacific Ocean remain suspended forever. For the first time, you truly understand how enormous Earth really is. 7 continents. Thousands of cities. Billions of people. And not one of them can move. Then one night, you look toward the sky. Except, there is no night anymore. The stars never move. The moon never changes position. The sun remains locked in exactly the same place. The Earth has stopped rotating. At least, from your point of view. The same sunlight shines endlessly. Or the same darkness surrounds you forever. Depending on where you happen to be when time stopped. Entire ecosystems begin collapsing. Plants can no longer follow normal day and night cycles. Some slowly die. Others stop growing completely. Your tiny bubble of moving time keeps you alive, but it cannot save the entire planet. Then another terrifying realization strikes you. Electricity. Power plants require moving turbines. Water must flow. Steam must expand. Fuel must burn. Machines depend on motion. If the rest of the universe is frozen, none of that should be possible. One evening, the lights suddenly go out. The city becomes darker than ever before. Air conditioning stops. Refrigerators become warm. Communication satellites remain frozen high above Earth. No internet. No GPS. No radio. No television. Every piece of technology humanity ever built has become a lifeless monument. Eventually, the food begins to rot. Fuel runs out. Medicine expires. You become the last engineer, the last farmer, the last doctor, the last mechanic, the last human responsible for keeping yourself alive. Every mistake is permanent. Every injury could be fatal. There is nobody left to save you. Then, while walking through an abandoned observatory, you notice something impossible. One object is moving, very slowly, almost too slowly to notice. A single beam of sunlight creeps across the floor. Impossible. If everything outside your bubble is frozen, nothing should move. Not even light. Yet there it is, moving, only a few millimeters, but unmistakably moving. Your heart begins racing. Maybe, just maybe, time isn't completely frozen after all. Maybe something unimaginably powerful is slowly waking the universe back up. Or worse, something is coming toward your tiny bubble of time. And whatever it is, it has finally noticed you. You stare at the thin beam of sunlight. For what feels like hours, it slowly crawls across the dusty observatory floor. Not fast, not even slowly by human standards. But compared to a universe that has been perfectly frozen, it is unmistakably moving. Your heartbeat accelerates. For the first time since everything stopped, you are no longer alone. Something else is moving. You rush outside. The city hasn't changed. The same people remain frozen. The same cars still float above the streets. The same birds hang motionless in the sky. But then, you notice another impossible detail. Tiny particles of dust, barely visible in the sunlight, are drifting. Not inside your invisible bubble. Far beyond it, somewhere, time still exists. It isn't everywhere. It isn't normal. But it isn't completely gone either. Then the realization hits you. Time isn't frozen. It's broken. Imagine dropping a glass onto the floor. The glass doesn't disappear. It shatters into countless pieces. That's what has happened to reality itself. The smooth river of time has fractured. Your tiny bubble is only one surviving fragment. The rest of the universe exists inside millions of disconnected moments, each isolated from the others. It is the greatest catastrophe imaginable. Not the destruction of Earth. Not the end of humanity. The collapse of time itself. Then, the ground vibrates. Just once. A tiny tremor. The first movement you've felt in what could have been years. You freeze. The vibration comes again, slightly stronger. A crack appears across the pavement. Not because of an earthquake, but because reality itself is beginning to reconnect. The frozen people around you remain motionless. But the air feels different. Heavier. Charged. As if the universe is struggling to restart. Above you, the clouds twitch. Only a fraction of a millimeter. But enough to make your heart race. Then, everything happens at once. The pigeon above your head suddenly flaps its wings. The traffic light changes from green to yellow. The coffee suspended in the air crashes onto the sidewalk. Car horns explode across the city. Wind slams into your face. Thousands of voices return in a single deafening instant. The entire universe awakens. For everyone else, not even 1 second has passed. The businessman continues walking without realizing he had been frozen. The child catches the balloon. The bus driver finishes blinking. The bird continues flying. Nobody notices anything unusual. Nobody, except you. Because for them, there was no pause. No silence. No missing years. Only a perfectly normal day. But your body tells a different story. You remember every empty street. Every abandoned city. Every lonely sunrise. Every terrifying night. Every year spent believing you were the last person alive. To the world, you vanished for less than a heartbeat. To you, it was an entire lifetime. Scientists would never believe your story. Your family would see no difference. Photographs would show nothing unusual. History books would never mention it. There would be no evidence, except the memories inside your mind. And perhaps, something else. You glance at your wristwatch. It stopped the exact moment time froze. Yet now, its hands begin moving again. But they don't point to today's date. They are years ahead, as if the watch remembers every second the universe forgot. Maybe, time did stop. Or maybe, you accidentally stepped outside the normal flow of reality, and became the only witness to an event that no one else could ever remember. One thing is certain. If time can break once, it can break again. And next time, you may not be the only one who notices.